Blades Ramble are proudly supported by our main channel sponsor, My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. We would not be where we are without the incredible support of John and the team. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information, or follow the link in the description below. And as this is 90 after 90, I want to thank our sponsors, Cosmetic Repair Solutions, an independent award-winning network of vehicle accident repair centres located in Chesterfield, Rotherham, Dinnington, Barnsley and Derby. Visit the website to find out more or get an estimate at cosmeticrepair.co.uk.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
Oh my goodness. What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. This is 90 after 90. I've just literally put the phone down to Jordan Motson, who was ringing, knowing that the intro was playing, to say that the players went over to clap the away fans and Sayers has pulled them away and told them not to do it. I don't know how much truth there is to that or not. It's just what Jordan's been passed as info. Obviously, Jordan was watching the game with me and he's not there. So he's just, again, don't shoot the messengers. We had a little bit of a stream about that, a talk on stream at the beginning of the last one. Thank you to everybody's kind comments on the previous stream. We're here now discussing some serious problems at Sheffield United. Is it time? Is it time? We have just witnessed Sheffield United lose the fifth game on the spin. Fifth competitive game this season on the spin. We're out of the cup. We've lost 4 in a row in the league. We've not scored since Bristol City in terms of league games. The first half of the Bristol City game at home. We are awful. We started the stream where I've had a little bit of time. Obviously, there's been a few bits go on, but in terms of Sheffield United's business, I'm quite happy. I think the board have recognised we need more, and I've supported the manager in getting players in. There has been 3 new players coming this week. All 3 took to the field today. One from the start, and who was absolutely outstanding, by the way, Japhet Tanganga. The sole bright spark in an otherwise really concerning performance. But Japhet Tanganga's come in, statement signing. We've said it, haven't we? All of it. It's not a ramble thing. The fan base tend to be in an agreement that it is the biggest statement signing you can make for a defender at this level. So, defenders don't jump off the page usually at you, but everybody knows that at this level, Japhet Tanganga is a top defender with the potential to go on to become a Premier League defender. And that's those middle signings that a lot of, when I say middle, I mean the ones that can bridge the gap between the Championship and the Premier League. And a lot of those in the summer that a lot of Blades were wanting us. All Blades want us to get those sort of players, but I think they're more idealistic signings. We've had to pay the money for it. But essentially, we paid what we received for a nil. So I think that is a really good deal for the football club. And as I say, I think he has been supported in the market now. I also started the stream by saying, and I think Jordan were in agreement, don't mean to speak for him, but I wasn't, on reflection, I've not been happy. I've not been happy with anything that Sayers has shown us. But it is very early days, and I think certainly at Bristol City, it was hung out to dry a little bit, having Reece Norrington-Davies and Jack Robinson as centre-halves. It just shows how weak we are and how unprepared we are for the start of the season. Then we go on to Birmingham with a heavily rotated side. Okay, you can make allowances for that. We've still not replaced Anel by the time it comes to Swansea, but the defence didn't appear to be as much of an issue that game. It was the lack of creativity in the side. And this is a lack of creativity in a side that's got Gus Hamer, Championship Player of the Season, Callum O'Hare, Sidi Peku's a very good midfielder, not being made to look like that at the moment, but a very good midfielder at the level. We saw it last season. It's an unbalanced midfield. That's just one of the problems that are here at the moment. So there's all that. And then Millwall last week, where we were distantly second best for 75 minutes. So coming into this game, I'd had a little bit of time to calm, and the signings of Tanganga, Ings, and Chong did exactly what they was designed to do. And no doubt in my mind it was strategic. Obviously we wanted the players in anyway, but in terms of announcing it so close to the press conference, certainly the Ings and Tanganga ones, that was to take the heat off the manager in the presser. That was why they were done so close to the presser, so the fans would be quite euphoric about certainly the Tanganga signing, and quite excited about the Mings one too. I thought he came on and showed a little glimpse of what he could do. Nothing is changing on the pitch. And I started the stream, this is what I keep trying to circle back to, and I keep getting distracted by the anger that I'm trying to override. But it circles back to, we want to give him a chance. Or I certainly want to give him a chance. Is the Blades manager, we can talk about Chris Wilder to death, which I know a lot of people are sick of, and I understand it. It's the easy comparison to make, but we're going to try and not talk about Chris Wilder, because Chris Wilder is not coming back. He will not come. I'll be absolutely astounded if that happens. So it's not even worth a discussion. What we have to think about is Ruben Sayers is the manager of Sheffield United. Whether we like it or not, whether we rate him or not, whether we think it gets better with him in charge or not, he is. So I keep trying my best. And this is just me as an individual, as a fan of Sheffield United. It's not trying to convince others to do it, but I keep trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And going into the game today, I'm trying to convince myself, well, he's got 3 new players there that should in some way impact the first team. I don't expect Chong to be a starter. I don't expect Ings to straight away be a starter. I certainly expect Tanganga to make a difference. But if he's going to bleed these new signings into the side, maybe he needs a bit of time. And I'm trying to convince myself of that. I continue to try to convince myself of it. But what is he showing us? What is, and I'm saying he as in Sayers' fault. And some people think it's harsh. We've had plenty of comments during the watch along today that the players have to look at themselves. And I agree. I agree, to be honest. They do. Tyler Binden, I'm trying my best. I was excited when he came in. Not overly, but I thought good prospect defender. Forest value him highly. He's bossed it in League One. But there is a step up and there is a difference. And we're top end. We're at bottom at Championship at the moment, but we're supposed to be fighting at the top end of the Championship. It's a different gravy. He doesn't look a player at the minute. He doesn't look a player. And I have to say that, and I don't like saying it. But Japhet Tanganga's come in and he's covered his, I think Jamie Dumpling said it in comments, he has covered everywhere for him today and got him out of jail so many times. If it weren't for Tanganga, it could have been 2-3 quite easily. And I don't see where the positives are coming. I don't. We went to a 3 at the back during the game. But when we went to a 3 at the back, we've got Femi Siriki on the bench. So you have your back 3, and then your 4 across the middle, which is what we're talking about in terms of the formation. We're like a 3-4-3 with 2 wide forwards at the top. But your 4, you have a right wing back and a left wing back. So the left wing back would naturally be Burrows. No, it wasn't. He brought on Sam McCallum and played him there and dropped Burrows into the back 3. Godfrey did appear to be injured, to be fair, so I don't mind that. If that's the way around you want to go. The perplexing one to me and the really concerning one was Ryan One to right wing back when we've got Femi Siriki on the bench. I understand Femi Siriki may have a knock or an injury or something. What is that about? What does that reek of desperation? I say I'm losing patience. I'd lost patience. I keep trying to talk myself round. But is it time? Is it time already? There's an international break coming up now. And you've got to think, the players that are on the fence, and I don't want to talk about it too much because, again, for those that didn't see the stream earlier, the Gus Aymer news that I reported were absolutely in good faith. And I believe that there are discussions going on with Leeds United at the minute for Gus Aymer. And not only that, there's discussions about other players as well. We saw Jack Robinson wasn't in the squad today. It's most likely he goes. The word is to Watford. That's not the word to me. That's the word that's out there in the ether at the moment. Watford maybe. I heard that Preston was sniffing around as well. But Watford seems the most likely destination for Jack Robinson at the minute. There's other players that are talking to other clubs. Because this is what happens at this time of the window. It's not like, oh, they're all panicking and they're like rats wanting to leave a sinking ship. But there might be an element of that now. Because Anybody signing for Sheffield United before a ball was kicked this season would be thinking they have a strong chance of being at the top end of the division fighting for promotion. We've lost 4 league games on the spin, 5 in total. And there seems to be no desire, no fight, no plan, no structure, no nothing in terms of how we can turn this around. And that is the concern. I'm dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded as to how we can potentially turn this around with this man at the helm. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all. Platinum Ramblers, I don't know if you've seen it, but I have copied the link into the Ramble news. I will put it also in our Platinum chat as well, just to make sure you've got it. I don't blame anybody that don't want to come on tonight, by the way. So we might not get any calls, which will be a first for 90 after 90. But what would you blame United fans for not wanting to come on and talk about it? I wouldn't. It's just, honestly, I am. What do you say? What do you say when you try and be positive about your club? Let's have a look at some of the comments. Well, there's a fair few. I can imagine which way this conversation is going to go as well. Let's have a little look where we started, because it sends you automatically to the bottom on this software. But okay, so starting us off is... holy heck, how far down do we go? James says, is that the third match with no shots on target? Absolutely abysmal. He has the players, so now this is on him. Get rid. The only question, James, is, has he had long enough? And that is the outside view, looking at the club. If you're not watching these games, has he had long enough? And the usual answer would be no, because he's got 3 players in that he's integrated into the squad today, which obviously they haven't had a lot of training time together and all this sort of thing. No time to get into a settled system. And then maybe 1 or 2 more to come in as well. And you're not really giving him the chance to integrate them. But if you don't see anything, I would love any Blades to come on, whether it's on a call for Platinum Ramblers or whether it's in the comments, to try and tell me what he's doing. Tell me what his plan is. Tell me what, if you're seeing it and I can't, because again, I'm just a fan with an opinion. But if you're seeing it and I can't, let me know, because James, myself, there's others, Scott, I can see them all coming in. Nobody knows what the plan is. And it's unforgivable, really. It's unforgivable. You know, I'm loath to give anybody stick, but he's being paid a good wage, and he's got to try and get a tune out of us. And he's not doing. He's not able to. It doesn't appear that way anyway. Beast Boy says, no question he has to go. We need a goal. And we put Cannon on the pitch. This Spaniard is clueless. I think that is a personal jab at Cannon, knowing you, Beast Boy, because you're not a Tom Cannon fan. Putting a striker on the pitch when we need a goal is not, you know, that's nothing to be upset about. Tom Cannon, when you've got Danny Ings on the bench, who is probably in front of him, you could argue it's probably a fitness thing, that why Tom Cannon came on first. Because I think Tom Cannon will certainly be number 3 in that list when things start to play out. I'm a little bit concerned about Tyrese Campbell, I'll be honest. I said it in the closed season, and I was understandably sort of chewed out a little bit, saying I worry that he won't be able to recapture the same form that we saw for him when he first came on board. He hasn't yet. It's a very short window again. Nobody's playing well in this side other than Tanganga today. Gav says, some players should be ashamed of themselves. Can't trap a ball, can't pick up a pass. McCallum and Cannon really poor subs. Chong and Ings looked good. I thought Chong were suspect as well, but he's not played a lot of football. I'm certainly not writing him off after 20 minutes on the field. I thought he looked okay. I thought he sort of settled into the game a little bit more. I'm not upset with. I like Chong coming in. I think he's a good squad option for us. I rate it. Danny Ings, I'm excited about to see what he can do. I think get him fit, and there's an argument to say he starts. Get him out. Never been so bored, says Super Sharp Blades. Get him out, says Chloe. Wow. There's so many comments coming in. It is shooting me away from... You can't hold still on the comments. It's pushing more comments up and up. Lee says, clear to hear Blades fans singing "You're getting sacked in the morning" at the end of the game. I bet Sayers hid behind the players like he did last week as he walked to the cop. Anglo-Saxon says, Sayers is a fraud, absolute embarrassment. His post-game interview will be very interesting, says Lee. I don't know whether we'll see it. Hang on, they're showing something here. He stood in front of them, in front of the players, he's in front of the players. You can see him. Gus has gone to the crowd. Gus has walked back. Sayers is trying to applaud the fans. He's saying it's on me. And they are chanting quite vociferously, as you can imagine, you're getting sacked in the morning, as Lee was saying there. And he turns and walks away with his head down. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Got a couple of callers waiting. Thank you, lads. I'll come to you when I can. Right, where were we with the comments? I'm going to try and get to the top of these. Oh no. I'll see if he comes on to the interview, because we'll stop everything and listen to what he says. Because I agree with Lee. I think it'll be really interesting to see what he has. He'll probably just say it's my fault, and we have to have time or whatever it is. I bet you think that, pal. I'm trying, and I can't. I've got to be honest with you in terms of how I feel about it. I want to back the club in every decision they make. I want to be positive and put a spin on it in terms of, well, we can look at it this way, can't we, instead? There are shoots of optimism because of this. There isn't. Not in my opinion. Sack him now, says Scott. 2 weeks for the new man to get in and get sorted and give the manager time. He's got to go, says Graham. Beardman says, poor first, better in the second, but still not good enough. We can't leave Tanganga alone to defend like that. What a player Tanganga is. Absolutely right. Completely agree with that. Don't know where that comment disappeared to. Let's have a look. Samuel says 43 corners in 5 games, 0 on target. Let that sink in. His ear is Sayers. Hopefully you can hear that. Difficulties tough. We need to keep working together. Time to fight. The chance for Tyrese Campbell is an appropriate chance. He's asking why he didn't create more. He's saying the Campbell chance is a chance. Created chances to equalise when it was 0-0. When that can't be right. International break. What's the message? What we're working on? Message has already been delivered. There's a lot of quality in the dressing room. The situation will change. We need to work hard. Keep fighting for the moment in the game. It'll change our dynamic. It's mandatory that everyone keep their head up and keep working hard. Bit of a reaction from supporters. Here we go. They were chanting my name. I'm not going to hide. If they're not happy with our work, they made that clear. Sometimes they chant your name because you're doing a good job. In this case, we're not. Face the reality. It was clear. He wasn't there going there to goad them, I think he's meaning. He just thought it was the right thing to do. Face up to him, basically. I'm going to continue working. He's saying it's just the start of the season, the interviewer said. Not the start we wanted. Yeah, you're not kidding. Continue working hard.
Well, if you analyze all the games, except of the first game of the fourth, first, that moment, go to the something that can happen is fast and
to enjoy the good times, you need to go through the difficult times. Rubbish. Not having that at all. Okay, so it's deleting the comments because there's so many comments. So as the oldest comment gets deleted as the newer comments come in. So playing a pair of 10s in centre midfield isn't working. Matos walks into this side if he signs. Bean says Bod have to accept they've made a mistake. So many managers would get a tune out of this squad. It's done. Jimmy says no clean sheets and no shots on target. Wrong both ends of the pitch. It doesn't get any clearer up the blades. Time for him to go, says Jake. I think the squad could excel as a back three, but Sayers won't swap his system. Only one team played vertical football today and they won the game handily. No plans, terrible subs. Yard Dog says one positive today. Big Tang at the back. No invention, no threat. I'm starting to get very worried we'll be League One next year. Not a chance. I'll be amazed. We should have been down to 10 and would have lost 3 or 4-0, says Michael. I'm liking some of the new players. It's a good squad for the next manager to pick up on. Ruben Sayers should be sacked as soon as possible. Wow. Sayers, get out of this club now. Time's up. He's got to go. It's time to go. James says, just unacceptable having these signings. The issue is now manager tactics. Lee says, Ings, Chong get nowhere near this team under Wilder. Tanganga's an excellent player. I think Ings does, to be fair. I think he'd have taken Chong as well. I think they're good signings for us. James says, on a positive note, we look loads better defensively, but too easy to play through in midfield, which is useless. A week ago, we'd have lost this 5-0. I agree with that. Because they're better players, aren't they? They're better players. But still, you could list our players. Our first 11 now, with the exception of 1 or 2, we're a top 4 side, easily, in my opinion. But we're just not playing like it. We're miles off it. We have some excellent players, but they're not playing for the manager, says Ray. He has to go. Tanganga was superb, and I wasn't happy he was coming in. Wolfgang says, I don't think the board will sack him at this stage, but if he doesn't get a win by the Charlton game, I think they pull the trigger. Sarah says, Tanganga thumbs up, Sellers thumbs down, that's all I can manage. Another one that likes to try and be patient, don't you, Sarah? But I feel you, girl. Mara says, Wolfgang, they absolutely have to sack him. We are pathetic. Action Location says, I'm angry, says he's absolutely clueless. Sack him now. Helen says, surely the board, after see this can't go on. Throwing players at the team isn't working. They need to throw a new manager. Now is the time. Plus side, up the Jaffet. What a player. Up the Jaffet. It's family show, Helen, but thank you for your comment. Paul says, how can we keep him when he can't get this crop of players to test the keeper all game? Absolutely shocking, and that was 90 minutes of absolute rubbish. Paul Rose of Well-Stoned Landscapes, doing my garden at the minute, and also a sponsor of the channel. Thank you, pal. Hope you are good. And you are absolutely on the money. Lee says, Jim, I love your content, but this hung out to dry thing holds no water. This is all tactics. I don't know if we're getting wires crossed daily, but I think he was hung out to dry for the first game. That was me intention for saying it, because I don't think he had the players. I don't think he had the players ready for the start of the season. When you're playing Reece Norrington-Davies and Jack Robinson as your back two, were that the combination? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I know Reece Norrington-Davies were in there. Everybody knows what I thought of Jack Robinson anyway, but that's by the by. I just think you're on an hiding to nothing. Reece Norrington-Davies, you could just say having Reece Norrington-Davies as a centre-back, on the current form we know him to be, certainly playing that position, you're on hiding to nothing. And that was stitching the manager up by not having the bodies in. We'd sold Anel earlier in the week. He was clearly going to be starting. It was the right decision to sell Anel. I stand by that as well. But the timing was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm sorry, but he has to go. Ironically, this squad is probably better than we had last season. Agreed. 100% this has to fall on the manager. With a few clever loans, I think this squad could be better than last season. Shisley says, doesn't matter what we have anymore. They don't know what to do. No threat today and 0 shots on goal. It's embarrassing. Louis says, why is Samari not playing again? Pecky's an 8, not a 6. Everyone can see it, so why can't he? I think, talk about being hung out to dry, to go back to Lee's previous comment, I think Sidney Peck has been, to be honest. I don't think he looks half the player he was, not just under Wilder, not just in last season's team, but he's been asked to do a different job. Yes, he's playing in centre midfield, which is his position, but the roles you do in your position can vary significantly, particularly in middle at park. And he's been asked to be a ball winner, and that's not where he shines. It's an element of his game, but it's not where he shines at all. Lee says, from a neutral supporter, the lack of quality over both teams, Boro and Sheffield United, was really poor. You need to sack your manager, beg Wilder to come back, or you could be relegated. The Wilder ship, mate, has sailed. And I think we all, me included, probably me more than most, have to get over that fact. I'm just going to try and set up our first caller here to come in. But yeah, we need to move on from Wilder. I don't think it happens. I don't think I'm not saying I don't think it should happen, but I don't think it does happen. So we'll wait and see who, if the change comes, is it time? That's the question we're asking. And I think a lot of people will say it probably is. And why not? Who better to ask that than one of our regulars on the Ramble? He's our Mr. Ramble on the road, you could call him, really, but he hasn't done it today. Thank you to Big T for doing that. It's Jamie Dumpling. How's it going, pal?
That was bad. That was really
bad. That was bad.
By the way, the call and link you put in the chats, it's wrong. It don't work.
Oh, doesn't it?
No.
How are you here then?
I've put in the old links and it seems to work.
Oh, I don't know what. All right, fair enough. That just sums up my week, that, Jamie, my old mate. But thank you for doing that, because I thought it were a bit odd that nobody, because usually we've got a fair few lined up ready to come on and right, okay. Thank you for whoever sorted that. But what do we do now, Jamie? What are your thoughts on the game? But what do we do?
I think I genuinely, I was getting angry. I think I nearly turned the what do you call it now? The match off. Sorry, I've had absolute head loss today.
You've not been well, have you?
Yeah,
as well.
Properly. I'm so glad I didn't go, and I'm glad I got ill where I couldn't go to.
I got ill.
Yeah,
mate, that's a statement.
I got ill. I weren't well enough to go.
Yeah.
So not
glad you're feeling better, mate. That's the main thing. But
yeah, but honestly, that was really, really bad. The issue it's not only the fact that we've lost, because you, George, said he sends we're looking for a result, and not a result, a performance. And you could say, oh yeah, last half an hour, yeah, we were comfy and everything, we were going for chances. We didn't have a shot on target, and Boro said at end of game, yeah, we were comfy. We were happy with how it went. And it's questionable when these are positions some players are playing. Sidney Peck, defensive midfielder, Harrison Burrows at centre back, Ryan One at right wing back.
That's the one. That's the one for me where it's head loss. What is going on there?
No Samare when we're trying to play a defensive midfielder.
No Sariki when we're trying to play with a right wing back.
It's mental. It's simple. You don't need to be a genius to go, yeah, you should play players in their position. No, that's common sense.
Mate, honestly, I don't see a way back for him. I don't. And he might get more time, but what are your thoughts? Would you change it now?
Yeah.
Or would you?
Honestly, I've tried to give him time, and when I went to pre-season, you could see a style of play I wanted to play, and it was working. And since we played Bristol City and conceded 4, we look shell-shocked, as if we're trying to not play it and do it a completely different way. And when Bindon was stood on that ball for 30 seconds, that said it all.
How is that high press attacking vertical play?
It's not. It's either players have caved in, they can't be bothered anymore, or Sellers is just. I don't even know how you can even get to that position within a month. He's been in for that many games and it's already changed like that. That is stupid. I'll be honest though, he's not done bad on some signings. Fair play to him on that. But so did Slav. He brought in Morgan Gibbs White. Don't
Yeah.
mean he's going to do well tactically.
It's also more of a club decision. He gets the final say, so I will applaud him on the signings. I'm not taking anything away from him. I don't want to, but it's more of a club signing. So the two questions I'm going to ask people tonight, and you've answered the first one, is would you sack him, and do you think they'll sack him?
No.
You don't think they will?
It's strange because if you go on Wilder being sacked on his own, you'd go, yeah, because they're very impatient. But if you're looking at the amount of money they're putting into his project at the minute, they're not then going to go, yeah, you've lost a couple of games after spending loads of our money. No, they're going to give him probably a bit more time. So I can see them probably giving him till the next international break. And I can understand them if they won't do it after Ipswich. That's a guarantee. Not only because it's straight after the international window, but because it's also Ipswich away, and that's basically an impossible job for him to do. But it's either now or pretty much 2 months' time, whenever the next window is, and that could kill a season potentially. I think they've got to decide now. I think.
Yeah, I'm going to let you go, Paul, because I know there's loads to get through and there's loads we could say, but it's where are the shoots of optimism here? Tanganga, Tangfastic.
Honestly, he was on his own in that defence half the time. Fair play to him.
How good was?
By the way, I want to clear up. Last night after night, I didn't call in, not because of what happened at Triple Point beforehand, because I was with my dad. So yeah, I want to clear that up. By the way,
I'd forgot about that. So for those that don't know, I'm going to have to tell a story now, aren't we?
Yeah.
It was just one of those, you had to be there for it, so it's not going to come across really well, but Dave the Nose arrived with Aaron, his lad, and they came to say hello to us. Dave's walking towards me, like over the table to shake my hand. So I reached out to shake his hand. Jamie hadn't seen Dave. Jamie just jumps in and shakes my hand instead. Like, I'd already said hello to Jamie, but anyway, one of them, you did have to be there. But
yeah,
thank you.
It were my brightest moment. I thought, you know what? Say you get the embarrassment out of the way, bring some positiveness into stream for once. That was the only way I could see it happening.
Nice. Jamie, top man as always. Glad you're feeling better, mate. You look like you could still do with a bit of a rest and a bit of food inside you, so I'll let you go.
I haven't eaten for 2 days.
Really? Get some dumplings in you, lad. Some dumplings for tea.
They'd kill me.
Catch up soon. All right, buddy. Catch up in a bit. Cheers, mate. Nice one, Jamie Dumpling. Thank you so much for joining us, being our first caller tonight. Always good to catch up with Jamie. Where do we go from here, Blades? Where do we go? I'm going to have to jump straight back into the comments because, like I said, the more that are coming in, it's dropping the older ones off, and I don't want to miss too many. He's way out of his depth, got very little experience, says Gaza. Trusty Roofers. That's Ash says, sorry, but he has to go. No plan on how to attack or defend. Wilder said we have to be better in both boxes after 4 league games. We are worse in both by far. Ed says no shots on target and no goals in 4 games is unforgivable. We have scored. We scored against Bristol City, didn't we? And if you're counting not the Birmingham game, then Gus scored from halfway line. This team is arguably better than last season's, and Sayers is killing any hope of promotion. He really is clueless. It's not working. Ben says, was our last shot on target the goal against Bristol? That's tactics. It was in the league. Obviously, Gus has scored from halfway line, but I think we're not far away from that being our last shot on target. We had the chance to break. Hang on, I'm going to have to read it from here. Break so many times and ended up passing the ball backwards that we seemed unable to run onto goal. Yeah, I agree. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. He says, said it from the start, Barry isn't a top championship player. We need new top-class wingers, both on the left and the right. Poor recruitment, says S17. Doomed captain Sayers, says Lewis. Brad Pickle says, you have to go up this season or you're going to be stuck in the championship for years. Thank you, pal. I agree. There's a much stronger possibility once the parachutes stop that we get stuck here. Kyle says, how many times has one pass through the midfield caused us problems? And that's not the players, that's the system. Stu Bebop says, in the car park, shoes off, Sayers out. He needs to go now, says Eon. Wolfgang says, Bindon wasn't as bad today, I don't think. Tanganga's what he needed. But for me, back three should be BG, Ben Godfrey, Tanganga, and NT. both with proper backs and proper physical defensive midfielder. Nils Zetterstrom, is that what you're going for? I might have completely, brain might have gone, to be honest, but DT says swapped an established manager at the top to someone from the bottom. What did we expect? Actually want Danny Roll now. We don't deserve Wilder after the way we treated him twice. Time's time, Jim Bob says Tom. He's got to go. Adios, amigo. Rich says lost my bet because of Sheffield United. Had Chelsea, Boro and Cardiff all at -1 goal. So close. Oh dear. Blunt Yorkshireman says no wins, no points. 1 league goal. Unacceptable for any owner and any fan base. Sayers out. It's clueless, Jimmy. Up the blade, says Paul. James says Campbell, Peck, Burrows, O'Hare, Brooks, Bindon, all passengers today. Completely agree. Completely agree. And some I'm not so keen on. Some in fact, I like the majority of those players, to be honest, and I agree. Get Danny rolling, says Adam. Hamer, why would he stay? For his own sanity, he will leave. If you're good to Hamer today, and you know your agent's been discussing Leeds, and we know that he went over to the crowd to applaud him, and he does that every game, so let's not read too much into it. But I know, or I trust the people that I've spoken to, that his agent has spoken to Leeds, and these sort of things do happen, whether it's going to happen or not, but these sort of deals get talked about. Why wouldn't you go? Why would you not go? He's going to possibly double his money. He gets a longer contract. He plays in the Premier League. We're bottom at league. We look directionless, rudderless, completely. Phil says, hi Jimmy, maybe this club is too big for Ruben, and he came in to replace Chris Wilder, which is huge shoes to fill. We've talked about it very loosely. I've said it previously, but other people like Jordan, Man Mountain, I think of... We're not comparing these, by the way, like for like, in terms of stature. But it's a little bit like when David Moyes came in after Alex Ferguson. It don't make David Moyes a bad manager, but going in after a cult hero, like Alex Ferguson was at Man U, on a much smaller scale, Chris Wilder is a cult figure for a lot of blades. Not everybody, for a lot of blades. It's huge shoes to fill. And when people like me keep banging on about it, it makes it worse, doesn't it? So I understand that, and we're not going to keep talking about it, but Lee says Campbell on that performance was a shadow of the player last season. Missed a sitter too. His confidence is low. Something myself and Andy the Blade have vocalised on this channel that we were concerned about Campbell this season, going into the season rather than wait. You know, it's not said after the fact, but yeah, don't like saying it. Mark says I'm all for wanting a manager sacked, but singing it at the game in front of the players is an absolute joke. I don't know, Mark. I think it's desperation from the fans. How else can we influence what the majority of us, let's be right, the majority of us, I think probably you included, Mark, I'm all for wanting manager sacked. How else can we have any say in what, you know, are you supposed to just be placid and accept whatever they offer us? If we think, or the fans, as individuals as well, feel that he's the problem, then why can't they vocalise that? It's not a sayers thing, it's a football thing. That's what fans do. Hyder says Godfrey won't make 15 appearances this season. Bindon probably will when he isn't even as good as Robbo, who we're about to sell. Our midfield is tiny. We successfully sold every player who can head a ball. The height thing is a real concern. A real concern. Even Japhet Tanganga at 6 foot or wherever he is a small defender. John says Hamer did not break a sweat. Very poor on that showing. I don't want him at Leeds. Right, let's move on to our next caller who's been waiting patiently. I haven't set him up yet, so let's try and make out like it's all set up and ready to go when it's not. So you might see him a little bit bigger than you're expecting to on screen. Oh, I think I've probably done this as well. I'm useless at multitasking. I do apologise. Always a little bit off. I'll have to Don't you move, Brett. Right. Okay. Good to go. Let's bring in our next caller seamlessly. It's Brett. How's it going? Brett, the positive blade, you are probably muted. Let me unmute you. There you go, pal. How's it going?
I'll talk now, yeah.
Yeah. How are you, mate? You okay?
Oh, fantastic. I've had a couple of beers, so...
So, for context, that people obviously, Brett is a regular caller to the show now, one of our Platinum Ramblers who... I love having a chat with Brett because he always picks me up. He's known as the Positive Blade. He's even accepted that moniker in his own name online and stuff like that. So up the positive ones and all that. He's done you, hasn't he, Brett? He's finally got to the core
Broke me.
of the positivity. He's broken you. He's broken you. Talk to me about it, pal.
Positive point is if we sacked him now, we could get a new manager in before we get sent down.
Oh,
To be fair, like I said, when we got him, we're not banging on about Wilder, but when we sacked Wilder, a proven manager who was proven at promotions for a manager whose CV reads that he's helped clubs escape relegation, they're not the same. And I understand what board wanted to do. And I said I'd give him time and he could have games. Like I think I said on one of the streams, I'd write first 10 games off and let him go for it.
Yeah.
But after 4 or 5 games, I've never seen us play so cluelessly. Like, we look bad without ball. We don't know where we're meant to be defending. With ball, we don't look like we're where we're meant to be passing it to.
There's no plan, is there? No plan at all. There's no structure. There's no patterns of play. And it doesn't have to be so obvious that, to the naked eye where, we need to see the triangles or we need to see the ball over the top that comes like every 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be blatantly obvious to us. But what is obvious is the players don't know what to do. So that tells you that there isn't a plan when they are... Bindon summed it up today when he had his foot on the ball for 20 seconds and just stood there. This is vertical, high-pressing, attacking play. And he was that desperate for the attacker who was 7-8 yards away from him to close him down that he just stood with the ball and stood still. What is that about?
Yeah.
When we're losing the game, by the way. When we're losing the game.
That's another thing, isn't it, as well? Like, we're losing games. They're saying about when we played Millwall in the last 15 minutes, we were more attacking. We were losing.
Yeah, I know.
Naturally, you've got to attack, or you're not going to accept that you're going to lose. Hey, you might as well go risk it for a 1-all.
I've had... It's all we always say, and it's true. It's all about opinions. Just because I think a certain way, it don't mean I'm right. Just because you think, don't mean you're right. But I've had people in the comments saying we looked more comfortable against Boro. Once we went 1-0 down, we looked more comfortable. Well, I'd said they looked comfortable keeping us at bay. I don't think they needed to do anything more once they went in front, and they're just elders. We didn't look dangerous other than that Sam McCallum chance at the end. What is he doing, by the way? That sums us up at the minute, doesn't it? So,
and that's the thing as well with the defence. And you were saying, like a lot of people said, we look more comfortable in defence. Tanganga looked good.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't say we look better or more organised.
And I think Godfrey's an upgrade. I think Godfrey looks good as well. A couple have said Bindon did better today. I didn't really rate Bindon today, if I'm honest. I thought Burrows looked poor. I thought they were trying to come down the right hand side all the time. They got down eventually down the left hand side when we'd left players up. So
against
we
our
are
better
still all
defender,
over the place.
Number one defender now.
Don't, mate. Right. So the 2 questions I'm putting to everybody tonight that comes on. Does he need to go? You've already sort of answered that. Is it curtains for him? Do you think they'll sack him tonight or the next day or 2?
Wilder? Yeah, I would. If they've got people already lined up, like not lined up but sounding them out. Then yeah, I'd get. And the only thing that annoys me is saying that they won't do it because they bought players to go for his system. Any manager can walk in and get a tune out of that squad.
Yeah,
we ain't got bad players. They've bought Tanganga. No manager's going to say, "No, we need better." He's best one at Leeds. You know what I mean? And the team he inherited, we just missed out on promotion.
Give me a realistic before I let you go, mate. Give me a realistic replacement that's not Chris Wilder.
Oh.
No, I'm not. We're not allowing. I'm not allowing any more Chris Wilder return talk at the minute. Look, I'll probably circle back to it next stream. Don't get me wrong, but I'm with a lot of the people that are saying we need to change that record because I don't think it will happen. If I'm honest,
No.
we're all clear, or the majority of us that rated Wilder think it was a wrong decision. He would come in and do a better job, but we have to get our heads around the fact that it won't be happening. So if it's not Wilder, then who? Realistically, pardon?
Daniel.
Say what again?
Well, the thing is, with the players we've got and the system that Sayers is trying to do, I think Danny Roll's the only one that had come in and not take 5 games to try and get him back to thinking. Like, as much as I'd like Dash, he won't come. Cooper won't come.
Cannot believe you've done that.
It's killed me. I had to do it over there.
How
My
can
dad
you?
told me.
How can look? Danny
But the
Roll.
thing is, like you said though, we've took people from other side at City before, and they've been brilliant. Like Lee Bromby, we had Quins back in day. We've had managers from there. So to me, I don't see it as being like taking one of their players. I see it more as them. They're our feeder club. That's the positive way of looking at it.
I think he's an upgrade on Sayers.
Everybody is.
But yeah. Do you know what it's like? It's like you've just got divorced. So that's sacking Sayers, and you go out on a night out, and you see a couple of 9s and 10s, and that might be Sean Dyche and Steve Cooper. Well, this is a stretch in it, looking at them two, but you know what I mean? A couple of 9s and 10s, and you think, or 8s and 9s even, and you think, I'll have a bit of that, but would they have a bit of me? And then you're struggling and you can't find anybody. It gets to midnight and you see a 6 and you find out she's a single mum with 5 kids that comes with a load of baggage, but it's better than Sayers. So you jump in with Danny Roll anyway. So it's just,
yeah.
I don't know. It comes with a lot. It comes.
You describe Dyche as a 10. I don't think he's ever been described as that.
No, that's true. That's true. But you know, I'm talking about managers out of our reach. Maybe a bad example, but
yeah, it is.
I'm talking about managers out of our reach. I think we could get Roll. I think we could possibly get Roll, and I don't mean to be sort of holier than thou and like, oh, we're too good for Danny. I'm not saying that at all. I think he's a good manager. I think it's now questionable whether his assistant had a lot to do with the success at Wednesday. I think that's the first thing, because he's doing a good job in charge of them lot. So his backroom team he'd have to assemble around him. I understand all that. But the baggage that comes with him, the first time we lose, it'd be Agent Roll. The first time anything goes wrong, all this sort of stuff. I don't think we'd be able to warm to him. I understand what you mean about players, but I think the manager is the most important person at a football club. Yeah. And I just think it's a bridge too far to go get Danny Roll. But that's my opinion. And you know, if he comes in and he wins 5 on spin, then I'll be rolling out the sausage rolls with everybody else.
To do with the fact that, like, people like Dyche and Cooper, I just couldn't see him wanting to, except after seeing what they've seen, like say they've come through. Who would want to come? And the only person I can see wanting us after seeing our performances is a young, unproven manager who can build his CV off that team. Because you think, well, I took him.
But isn't that what Sayers is? Isn't that what Sayers is?
I don't think it's been proven though, has it?
Yeah, unproven. That's what I mean. But it's not. It's proven to not be working for us. So I think we need experience. Somebody with either experience of the league or the league higher, and that'd be Sean Dyche, Steve Cooper. And I think we'll struggle to get a mate, to be honest.
I have always said same though. If you're going to go for a manager, he's the most important person at club. So go all out for that rather than going spending money on a big player or something. I'd spend most of the money on a manager.
Absolutely. Our managers' pay hasn't caught up to players' pay. I'll never know, to be honest. But
Mourinho won't found.
Well,
he's looking for a club.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. We can hope, can't we? More chance of Mourinho than Wilder, I think. So
yeah.
Anyway, pal, thank you for calling. Really appreciate it, Brett. And I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers, pal. Nice one, Brett. Always good catching up with him. And the fact that Brett can't be positive should be warning signs to everybody, to be honest. It's a concern, isn't it? It's a concern. I'm just setting up the next caller and trying to do it seamlessly. And again, who am I kidding? Right, that's that sorted, I think. I haven't checked how you look, pal. So you might be hopefully not upside down again, but we'll roll, won't we? Pete says, oh, Jimmy, what can we say about that shambles? Taxi for Ruben. Yeah, absolutely right. Scott says it's getting toxic on social media and in the ground. Have you seen the videos going around of Sacked in the Morning and Chrissy Wilder and Alan Nil? I have seen, I've had messages about it, Scott. Jord Motson rang me just as I were going on air, just as it were counting down for me to be coming on to say that that's what's going on. I'm staying off social media just for a little while, just till things calm down a little bit, because you try and drop in a bit of what you hear and with a honest feedback and sort of say, I'm not in the know, but this is what I've heard, and you get absolutely annihilated. So people are right to be angry, Scott. It's an emotional game. We ride that emotional roller coaster as fans, don't we? And I'm a bit apathetic. I'm a bit like, well, have we given up on season already? I don't know. I'm trying. Gage says, honestly, at this moment in time, take player performances with a pinch of salt. Sometimes a player can only be as good as his manager's instructions. Zonny says, can't blame Campbell. When he gets zero service going forward, we offer nothing. But when he did get the service, he didn't react. And it's not just the being in the right place at the right time, which he was. He was, to be fair, Zonny. But there was so many heavy touches, Campbell included. Heavy touches, misplaced passes. There were a time where it were a 10-yard pass to Andre Brooks to play him in, and he overhit it out for a goal kick. And his confidence looks on the floor. We're only surmising, aren't we? We're only guessing. But Finn says, would you get rid of him tonight? He's got to go. Hope he's sat there crying tonight. Destroyed this club. Last two lines I don't agree with, to be fair. But would I sack him tonight? Yes, I would. I would sack him, Finn. I just don't see. It's 5 games, which sounds ludicrous to those looking in from the outside. But when you've sat through all 5 games, like we have, or the majority of us will have done, it has been atrocious. Cooler King, neutral fan, says 1-0 flattered the Blades massively. It was a clown show, except Tanganga. There you go. Villa fan. Thank you, mate. Jimmy, who would you bring in then? I'd love Sean Dyche. Well, the man who shall not be named is always going to be number 1 on my list. If we're moving past that, which is right that we do, Sean Dyche would be my number 1 target, because I think he's a lot of similar qualities, done it at the highest level in terms of, like Lee's mentioned several times in our chat, kept Burnley up for 7 seasons out of 8, just knows how to find a way to win, get the players playing for each other. I think Sean Dyche is an absolute no-brainer. I would also look at Steve Cooper as a close second because of the job that he did with Forest. I think he's a very underrated manager. Works well with younger players. I spent time in the England youth setup before he came into club management, before he went to Swansea. Did a very good job there as well, but we've got a young squad now. I think Steve Cooper could do a really good job for us. I fear it might be somebody like Danny Roll or even Gary O'Neill, and I'm not turning my nose up at those managers. I think Gary O'Neill is a bit of a hybrid to what they're wanting with Sayers. I think he'll stand up for himself a little bit more. I think he's a stronger character, but I think that's more the level that we'll go for. To be honest, I might be wrong. What game is Sayers watching? Says late, mate. Michael says, what's worse than the Owls are ahead of us in the table and their club is an absolute shambolic mess from top to bottom. I have to say I thought the Wednesday kids were outstanding against Leeds. They are putting us to shame and loving it. Absolutely. They have every reason to be in the mess that they're in, to be on the pitch. And we've no right to be bottom of the table. He talks about keep working hard, show it on the pitch because it looks far from it. He's not got a clue, says Mark. Sees a different game to me. Yeah, agreed. John says, going to Burger King now to rescue the day with a Whopper burger. Yorkshire Pudding says, what in the world is this guy living on? It's not Earth, that's for sure. Absolutely right. Rossi Blade says, love to see Wilder back with this team. I'm sure he would get... Hang on. Marco, I can see you come in. I could hear myself then talking. I don't know if anybody else could hear me. It's all right, I've sorted it, pal. Ruben Sayers on Sky, head in the sand. Yes, he was. Mrs. Cook says, rubbish, get rid. Milan says, wouldn't take Hamer, build a team around Tanganga though. Marching on together. Andy says, how can so many well-paid footballers be so poor at basic skills? Who's coaching them? The players also have to accept some responsibility for this very poor effort. No pride at all. Grim. It is grim. That's a really good way of describing it. I need a sausage roll, says the FX pilot. Autopilot. Devon Blade says Wilder would have got a tune out of these players. I agree, but forget Wilder once and for all, says Joe. We will. We're going to have to, aren't we? That's the way it is. Sayers gives politicians answers, says James. I agree. Rowan says Peck can't play that system, and it's not even his fault. The manager should shape the system around the players. I agree. A good manager builds a team around his players. I'm going to give another example then. Brett mentioned the man who can't be named. We can't afford to give him more time, says Adam. Completely agree. Chef Paul says sources behind the scenes say that the atmosphere in the dressing room is toxic, with certain players being culpable. Sayers clearly can't control them. Backroom staff have walked. He needs to follow. Sean says, for the first time in my life, I stopped watching a game before the end. I've gone down to watch a cross-country county team. Sorry, mate. I think you've come away there at the end. Can't get any worse. It can. Says Martin. Nice. I know what you were going for there anyway, pal. Ricardo says, it's just a shambles all round. The board sold him down the river, but now he's just being stubborn and refusing to accept he was wrong about his 3-man midfield setup. Weekend down the pan. See you Monday, Jim. You will, pal. I'll be here. Owners are going to bring in Ted Lasso. Don't, mate. Something like Jesse Marshall rock up, won't they? Okay, here's a list from Cooler King. Hassan Hootel, no chance, to be honest. And this might be me being defeatist, Cooler King. If you can chuck enough money at him, then maybe. But Hassan Hootel, I don't think comes. O'Neill would, I think. Daesh, I would love, but I don't think he comes. I think he's got. Somebody was saying earlier, I think his eyes are on somebody like West Ham more than us. Cooper, unlikely. Carrick, yes. Mowbray, no. Philippe Clement, no. Gerrard, no. Ince, all available. Nothing very exciting. Oh, Cooler King. Really? That's me, Roy King, anyway. Hi, Jimmy. This rubbish about giving him time for me. Time is up. I can see a few players down in tools. Sayers out tonight. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Says Gary, up the WI Women's Institute. Ray says, under Sayers, we will be lucky. Oh, the Wild are in. That's got to be, hasn't it? That's what that is, I think, if we're reading it right. Ray says, under Sayers, we'll be lucky to get the needed 50 points. Will owners pull the plug? I'm not sure they will. We need a proven winner to take over, not roll, says JT. But Mick says, roll, please. And Tim Davis also says, the London Cheesehead, says, Danny Roll time, maybe. It was time after Swansea, says Ida. Serves you right for Muscat, says, I'd rather have Warnock back than this clown. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm no fan of Warnock, but as a manager, he does a job, doesn't he? There'd be no money left at end, but that's a different story. Lee, I was underwhelmed when he became manager. I'm firmly getting him out now. Captain Scuttle says we have got an option to send Bindon back at Christmas. Oh, have we got an option? Don't know. I hope so. If we're going to continue playing with a 4 at the back, and particularly if we sign me, which I think is likely. Not IDK. But I think Bindon is. I think me is likely. Then you've got 4, aren't you? Is Atterstrom 4 centre halves? If you're playing 2 at the back, yeah, I don't know if you fit. Again, I don't want to write anybody off too early, manager or players. But Bindon hasn't shown me enough as yet. I want to try and give him the chance, but I'm struggling. Craig says no space in the season for Pride. They have to sack him now. I don't feel like going again until he's gone. Too depressing. Deb says, congratulations on getting to 9,300, Jimmy. Thank you, Debs. We are well on the way now, aren't we? Hopefully. We are well on the way. Thank you for your support. Let's get our next caller in then. This is completely random as to where he's going to end up on screen because I didn't even let it load up before I clicked off. So let's see where he is. It is Batman himself. Lewis, how's it going, pal? Oh, do you know what? I bet I haven't unmuted you. I haven't. How you doing, Mal? Pal, you all right?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right, considering.
Dear, oh dear. Here we are again. We were here this time last week, weren't we?
We were, mate. We were. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that today?
Do you know what the problem is for me? And I'm going the other way now, where I'm losing faith in time. The biggest problem for me is naivety, and I've used that word to describe the board as well at times. So
sorry, mate, before you go on, just to set the table, because the Platinum Ramblers will know this, because what I love about our chat is, hopefully, it's a place where people feel like they can say their honest opinions and be open about how they're feeling. You were one of the few that wanted to give him a bit more time, weren't you? And sort of just see how it plays out, because for you, it was too early to make that decision. Certainly, end of last game, you're hurting like all of us are, but you were forced to give a decision either way. I think it's fair to say you would have said, Just let's give him a little bit more time and see how he goes. He's saying that's changed now.
Yeah, just the total naivety, turning up like that today with 2 10s and an 8 in midfield again. Trying to, because a lot of people are saying, well, I can't see what he's trying to do. I can see what he's trying to do. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work because there are very few teams in the world that can play the way he wants to play. Yeah. Man City, we're not Man City. There's an example.
It's essentially a one-man midfield, isn't it? And then 4 attackers in front of him.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you can see, can't you, 4-5 lined up in front of the defence. When we're trying to get the ball forward quickly, which we're failing at anyway, he's got 4-5 then lined up where if it breaks down and they get the ball back or someone intercepts it, you've then got to press at the front so you can try and defend from the front and win it back again.
Yeah,
there are very few teams in the world that can play that way and execute it. And he doesn't even have a proper holding midfielder to shield the defence when the ball comes back the other way.
Not one that he's playing.
We've got people up the pitch. I watched it today, and all right, I've grabbed, because I was away, as you know, for the early part of the season. I've grabbed highlights. I watched the game in full today, and I was shocked at how naive it was from a tactical perspective.
Yeah.
Tanganga was the only positive from the game.
Yes, he was.
Maybe Godfrey. Godfrey looks a player as well. But just, I can't see him making it work unless he just changes some fundamental elements of it. And is he going to do that? I don't know. I mean, there's talk of more attacking players coming in, maybe a right back. He needs a proper number 6.
Yeah,
he needs to put Samare in there. And the shape's all wrong. The approach is all wrong. I can't believe he turned up. You know, when you're not winning games, you've got to solidify a little bit, haven't you? Kind of just close ranks a little bit defensively, keep things nice and tight.
Yeah.
The weird thing is when the ball does come to us, so when Boro were attacking us as well, for some reason we go ridiculously narrow as well. So not only have we got this big gap in the middle, the defence is like
You're
this.
Right. You're
so
right.
they get down the sides of us really easily.
And then we stood off and can't stop the cross.
Yeah, you can't stop the cross. So he's obviously trying to defend really narrow, which makes it easy to get down the sides. Problem with that is the ball's coming back too quickly because we can't execute that front press like an elite team can because we're not an elite team. So I think seeing it in full today shocked me a little bit how naive it was.
Matos from Chelsea, rumoured to be coming in. We've had a video posted in our chat that shows him at the training ground. And I don't know an awful lot about him, in all honesty. I've read bits. I know George Ellick from Not the Top 20. He was on loan at Oxford last year. George is a big Oxford fan. Raves about him as being the closest thing we can get to Vinny Souza. That in itself excites me, but anything else that would, any hope with this Matos potential signing coming in that you think, well, if that's a 6 that we need, then hopefully it all clicks. Or is it time, mate? Is it time?
Well, if Matos is the answer, then I hope he's world class because you need that kind of player in there to cover for that kind of style. I think it would be time for me. I think I've gone completely the other way after saying that. I think it's time. The other question you were asking, though, is about whether they'll do it. I don't think they will. I think they'll give him a couple more games, by which point we're in a worse position. You can't realistically see us getting anything at Ipswich, can you? I don't want to be negative. I keep telling people to be positive, turn up.
No, but the strategic thing from a club point of view, they always look to the international breaks as the time that they could implement. It's the optimum time to make a change is now because the new manager gets 2 weeks to work with the team, and it's just whether they will be brave enough to make that call. They'll have seen obviously the fans, which I know Mark were against it, and I'll talk to Mark about it. He's due to come on, but and I understand his sentiment, but that will feed into the board's thinking verbally and visibly. The fans are against what's happening at our club, and they are calling for change. So, and they're singing Chris Wilder's name. I don't think it happens again, but I'll ask you the same question, Lewis. Without that man in consideration, who replaces him if it's time? realistically?
Massinio at Portsmouth.
Oh, what a shout. What a shout. I like that.
That's what I'll go for.
I like that. Mate, you're good for me. That's a name that hasn't really been mentioned at all, and I think it's a really astute mention. So, yeah, don't mind that at all. Any other points you want to make, pal? Because I've got a few callers lined up, and I am miles behind on comments. But anything else you want to say, pal? Before I let you go?
I think just to try, if the Blades can be, i.e. the supporters, if they can be a little bit positive going into the next game in any way, just try to be, because he's getting proper pelters at the minute, and rightly so. But they're not going to sack him this week. They're not. I just don't believe they will. So we need to try and stick together a little bit. Stick together. There's a group of fans as well, in the chat, not fall out, things like that. It's a tense time. It's not going well.
It is, mate.
We need to stick with it and just hope that the right decision's made sooner rather than later.
Agreed. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you coming on. Always good to speak to you.
And you, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, Lewis. Thank you for jumping on, pal. It's John Massinio. That's a right shout. Somebody that's not been mentioned in any conversations I've been having with Blades. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the club or anything like that people want to sort of make out like I'm saying now. But I think that's a really strong shout from Lewis there, and an exciting one potentially. So. Yes, we shall see. Let's jump straight into our next caller, because I've just been scurrying away in the background trying to get that sorted out. It is regular caller to the Ramble, Dave Morwood. How's it going, pal? Oh, wait. How's it going, pal?
Truthfully?
Yes, truthfully, please.
It's worse watching the Blades with two eyes than it is with one.
How is the recovery going? That's probably a more enjoyable conversation.
Oh, the recovery is great, mate, but like the last game, I could just watch the attacking when we were attacking.
It means you have to watch him with both.
They're watching me both now. Tanganga is brilliant.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
But apart from that, mate.
Note to be encouraged by, is there? That's the problem.
I'm going to say something now that I was told weeks ago, and I'm not going to name who told me, but they said...
Careful, because you get done for these sort of things. I'm living proof. But go on.
This guy is a fraud. He talks a good game, but he doesn't manage a good game.
Okay.
And that's it, man. It's time.
It is time. That was going to be my question, pal. Is it time?
Yes, definitely.
Do you think they'll do it?
I don't think they will. I think they're too proud.
That's the thing, though, you see, because the question is, do you think they'll do it? And the first thing is, not yet. That's the first thing that comes into everybody's mind. And the fact that we say not yet shows that nobody's got any belief that he'll turn it around, and it'll have to go to more losses before it gets better. So if that is the overriding belief of everybody, that it's a not yet, that they won't sack him yet, because they'll wait until he loses a few more games. It's not acceptable. No. If they did, Dave, who is your man to take over without the Messiah being talked about?
Well, I was thinking Cooper, but I don't see that happening. I think
I'd love Cooper.
Yeah, I would love Cooper, but like listening to what Lewis was just saying about Massinio, is it?
Yeah, good shout.
I'd go the other way. Yeah, I'd go Eustace at Derby.
Another good manager who's doing bits in the division and doing what's needed to progress clubs.
He was doing it with Birmingham till they put Rooney in.
I know, he was. That's right.
So
absolutely right.
That would be my choice on it.
Wow, another good suggestion out of left field. Thank you, David. Anything else you want to talk about, pal, before I let you go?
No, man. You've got more callers to come on, and I'm just feeling as I want to go and lie down in a darkened room.
Mate, that's exactly what I'll be doing after the stream as well, so I don't blame you.
Well, I hope you're all right, man. Stay strong. Positive.
Thank you,
I'm positive that we're going to lose next week. That's how positive I am, man.
We won't lose next week. No danger. We're not going to lose next week.
No, we're not. We're not. Oh, wait. No, I forgot. International break, yeah. We'll lose when we come back then.
That's right. Okay,
that's
pal.
how positive I am. Nice talking to you, Jimmy.
You too, mate. Great speaking to you as always. Thank you, pal.
Cheers, mate.
See you,
Bye.
mate. What's a man? Dave Morwood. Top bloke. Thank you, David. Always good to speak to him. Always cheers us up with a bit of a jolly up about what's going off and what, you know, is there any sort of bright side? Well, they're in on pitches there at the minute. They're in. So let's at least try and have a laugh about something else. I can see my next caller just staring into the distance, absolutely raging at what's going. Yeah, waving away. Oh, he's going to live up to his name. I can tell. It's Mark Meldrew. How's it going, pal?
Yeah, sound mate, you.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely ace. Absolutely ace. What is this shambles that's going on at our football club, pal?
I ain't got a clue, mate. I wish I knew the answer. I just don't get it. I mean, my dad's sort of said to me earlier, what I don't understand is he's come in and he's harped on about this high press, intensity, fluid football, vertical football.
Yep.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's Tyler Binden stood on ball on our own 18-yard line for 20 seconds a game. That's what it is.
There's no plan. Like we look bad in and out of possession. We don't look like we've got any clue what we're doing.
Yeah.
He's persisted again to play Aimer and O'Hare in. Like, I know sort of Lewis said about him being 210s. I didn't think they were 210s. They were too far back. They played like more like 2-8s. Aimer's on edge of our box at times. That's not me having this like moaning about it. I'm just sort of saying that's how I viewed it, sort of thing. But it's just really annoying. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. I mentioned it chat against Millwall. I came out on 65.
Yeah, I saw it, mate. I saw what you said, yeah.
And my mate had to sort of tell me what had happened after that. And I just said, look, we can moan about it all we want. And this is like, I've just been thinking about when you've been on about managers. I want a manager with a plan to start with. We can talk about names all we want. I couldn't care less who comes in. I want somebody who knows what they're doing, who's got a plan.
There's a couple of things that you said there, like you left at 65, didn't you? At 65.
I'm bored, and that's not like me. That's not like me at all.
No. But my point was, the rhetoric of the game of two halves. Millwall were a game of two halves. We dominated the second half. They were in charge in the first half. That's not true, and that's what we keep going back to in terms of we played much better second half. Well, your evidence that we didn't, because the first 20 minutes of the second half were dross to the point where you walked out. Because if we'd have been on top and looked like we were going to equalise, you wouldn't have left so early. So
it's a rubbish watch, isn't it? Like that's the thing. It's not an easy watch. Like we can all and I am listen. I'm one of these. I'm sick to death of talking about last season and manager we had and all this. It's getting a bit of a joke, to be honest. But like, you take 1-0 victories over what we're seeing now. It's an absolute shambles, and I don't know where we go from here, to be honest. I mean, he's got a player on bench there, and he's a bit unknown. We don't know much about him, but why not play him? Like, he's not even brought him on. Like, we don't know about Chong. Yeah, Samari. We think Chong's maybe not fully fit. I thought Danny Ings. I'm not saying he did much, but he seemed to look a bit more lively.
Agreed.
When he come on, Tanganga. I mean, I don't know if you caught it because you were doing watch along with George, but he's shaking his head, mate.
Yeah, I know.
3 or 4 times, like saying, "Where are we? Like, what's going off?" I mean, he must be thinking, "What have I done signing here?"
I know.
Do you know what I mean? We must be paying him well. That's one thing I'll say.
We certainly will be, but they're good players, though, mate. That's the problem. It's not like he's joined a group of players that are poor, and it's just Sheffield United as a name of a club that's big in the division. We have still got the players that are capable of playing top-end championship football, but the manager doesn't give them anything to put together. It's just it blows my mind, because our squad, I would say, certainly first 11, is up there in terms of top 4 in terms of who you compete. Players like Gus Aimer, Michael Cooper, Tanganga, Callum O'Hare even. You know, there's other players that you can... Ty Campbell you'd have put in before it started season. Other players that I think are really strong for the level, just not doing it. And that's not everybody individually. Obviously, Tanganga's had a great game today. But there just doesn't seem to be a plan, and that is the reason that people are going in so early, I think, on Sayers out, because, yes, he hasn't had a lot of time, but there's no hope for what we're seeing on the field at the minute.
I mean, to be fair, like, first half, Barry didn't do a lot for me. Why not put Aimer up left and bring Samari in if you're going to keep Peck on pitch?
Yep.
Try and start, like, stiffen it up a bit in there and go from there. I was shocked that Peck come out to me. He was very, very lucky. He should have gone off.
I agree.
Horrific. It was a terrible
it's a red
tackle.
card, isn't it? It's a red card
It's
all
a red
day.
all day. It was lucky we're not in Prem because that's they're going over
George
to
said
screen.
same at watch along. Yeah, he said same.
They're going over to screen, and I ain't caught any at watch alongs. I've been watching match at my mum and dad's, which is where I am now. But I just don't know where we go from here. Like Dave just said, and I agree with him. We can all talk a good game. Everyone in chat and in our group can talk a good game of football. But he says all the right things, but then never implements it. He's like, oh, we're going to play this style and that style. You never see it. And fans, especially United fans, will not buy into that because you've got to back it up on pitch on a Saturday.
I'm going to, and I have got calls to get to, so I am going to ask you the same two questions I've been asking everybody, but I'm also conscious of a comment that you put in the chat as well, which was you didn't agree with the fans chanting Sayers out. Do you want to talk to me about that a little bit?
I just think it just looks a bit tin pot, if you ask me.
What, to his face? Singing it to his face,
I just think it's just a bit... I've reflected a little bit. Maybe it is needed at times, but it don't paint us in a good light, does it? I don't think. That's just my opinion.
I can see your point.
When they took R&D off and they've took other players off this season and they've been cheered off, I don't agree with that either. I just think...
No, I don't.
That's not helping. That's not helping as well, is it? It's bad enough as it is. Never mind, if they've got out about him, this board, they'll sack him. And they've got 2 weeks to get somebody in because it's not going to change. And leaving it longer, you just prolong it, inevitable. Because we'll go to Ipswich, we'll get turned over. We'll just have his bellies tickled. And that's just how it is at minute. But
so do you think they will sack him?
Do you know what? I think we're in a bit of a difficult place, I think, because they have backed him. Like, they've brought Tanganga in, they've brought Chong in, they've brought they're looking at that. Matos, he's coming in. They've backed him, but then to go and sack him, it's difficult because I think then you're asking a new manager to come in who might want different players. Let's say they sacked him today. You've got till Monday to potentially bring players in that you want to bring in.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's really difficult. I think they've really put the Sens in a bit of a sticky position. I think after Millwall will probably time to do it.
I agree, but don't you think a good enough manager can get a tune out of this squad of players, no matter who it is?
100%. A man with a plan.
Yeah, so it's not like we have to give Sayers a chance because there is players. I think they've brought in quality players into the squad. Now it's up to Sayers first and foremost, but if they sack him, it will be somebody else's job to fix it. So if there had to be a man to come in, mate, who would you plump for?
One that's my dad asked me this earlier, and the one I would probably go for, and I don't think we'd even entertain going for him, it'd be Cooper. Purely, and I'm going purely off the fact that he came into Forest, they were at bottom three. I think they had about 4 or 5 points, maybe a bit more. I don't know.
Really impressive.
He got them into playoffs, and he had a good run with a young squad who didn't have a lot of experience in it. You had like Jed Spence Johnson, people like that. But
built on loans that squad as well. Yeah,
but like you say, I just think anybody with a plan, to be honest, and that's just how it's got to be.
Okay, mate. No worries. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, pal, and I'll catch up with you soon.
No worries. Take care, buddy. Pal. See you later.
Top man, Mark Meldrew. He gets his name for a reason, but he's not wrong, is he? He's not. Well, it might be wrong to some people because it's all about opinions, but for me, he's bang on with what he says. It's worrying. It's worrying. And now, have we boxed ourselves into a corner with recruiting players for a manager that's not? It might not be him. It might not be for him. So I'm gonna have to do some jigging about with some of these cameras. Here we go. Oh, what a fine bearded gentleman we've got coming up now. Absolutely incredible. Oh, do you know what? I don't know if we can hear him. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I'm not judging that. I'm not jinxing that before it happens. So, welcoming into the stream. First time in ages. It's Scott. How's it going, pal? Oh, no. We can't hear you. And you're not muted. So you might have to come out and come back in again. That worked for Lewis last time, pal. But yeah, apologies. I don't know whether you've got a thing muted on your end or something like that can't quite come through. But I need to come back on. Okay, mate. Okay. And in the meantime, we'll get somebody else on. So apologies to all the people that are commenting as well, because obviously I'm not going to get to everybody's comments now. I will get to as many as I can if we've still got time after the callers, but we're predominantly a calling show, aren't we? And I want to hear what some of our ramblers have to say. Because it's a bit of a shambles at the minute, it has to be said. A little bit of a shambles. And now, another regular face to the Ramble. It is the one, the only. I'll unmute him first. Lee Edridge, how's it going, pal?
Hey, pal. I've been better.
Yes, me too, mate. What did you think to that shambles today?
Well, first of all, when you said a beautiful bearded man, I thought it was me.
No, it definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't. Nor myself either, mate. Nor myself. So, yes, mate. Yeah, but what a beard on Scott, by the way. He might not end up coming back, but
Cracking.
Oh, mate,
Cracking.
that's commitment. There's definitely beard oil involved there, isn't there? He knows how to do it. So, yeah, that's the positives out of the way, mate. What about the football?
I said it on View from the Mountain, didn't I, on Tuesday? And I just don't see any structure or any patterns or what the aim is. I can't see anything. I can't see anything from it. I was all for getting rid of him after Millwall. I still am. I don't see how we recover as a team. We've got some quality in this side. I don't mind any of the signings. I can see we're bringing in quality for the squad. If he's not getting a tune out of him, when will he get a tune out of him? How long do we leave it? 8 games, 10 games?
It is early, mate. It is early. But I stick by the other counter that I put forward with that. There doesn't appear to be any shoots of structure or plan or anything. The players don't look like they have a clue what they're supposed to be doing. Obviously, they know they have to get the ball in the net. That is it. There's no, they turn around, they go backwards, they stand on the ball for 20 seconds and try and entice attackers onto them before giving up. We're 1-0 down. Vertical attacking football when we stood on our own 18-yard box, stood still. It's embarrassing. We're getting absolutely mullered through the middle, like run through like a train, because we've got certainly two and one box-to-box player, but two very attack-minded players in there trying to clog it up, who have they're chasing shadows because they don't know where they need to be positionally or anything. Gus could be anywhere on the pitch. It is all over the place, and I don't see a way out for us under this, because there isn't an obvious plan, mate. It might be me being harsh, but I don't know whether you agree.
I 100% agree. I mean, it's this vertical football. Are we on the bottom end of that? Is it just that the vertical football's coming straight at us?
It's the vertical football, and we're there.
Exactly. I just don't.
What's up?
I'm here, mate. My son's just called me. That's all. Can you hear him?
Oh, yeah, I can hear him coming through.
Yeah, he's trying to call me. He's been taken off at just before half time, injured. So
right. Oh, mate, you need an update on that. Yeah, is he all right?
He's all right. I'll call him back. He's 29. He don't need his dad.
I know. Can look after himself. Get himself to hospital. He'll be fine.
I mean, I keep saying my worry. The way we're playing with, it's everybody clear out and leave City to fight fires, and it's just. And then another thing, are they getting too many instructions that they just
overloaded
to work with? Try. I mean, I put something in the chat for this stream. Is it paralysis by analysis? Are they
nice.
Too much information. It's an American football term.
Dave the Nose will love that. Dave the Nose will love that.
Yeah,
he'll be
as well, doesn't it?
He'll be nicking that tomorrow on 3 Mardy Blades, I can tell you. But honestly, the other concern. Go on, mate.
Go on. No, you go, mate. Go
I was just going to say the other concern was something that Jordan pointed out on watch along, was that they don't seem to be busting a gut to go that extra mile. So they're not all flooding the box when we're getting forward, and they're certainly not busting a gut to get back when we lose possession. With that, I can't remember who had the chance, but they were 2-on-1 with Tanganga, and there was nobody to be seen for 20, 30 yards, and you think it's unacceptable to not all be in it together. He's shaking his head like other people have commented, what is going on here? Why am I on my own at the back having to do all this? God knows what Cooper's thinking. He's super exposed as well. I thought he played well again today, but we're in a mess, mate. We're in an absolute mess, and the question is, will they pull the trigger on him, do you think?
We don't know, do we? We don't know anything about him.
I know we don't know. That's not the question.
We've not heard from him. We don't know the psyche or what to do. If they can fire a man who gets us 92 points, they can fire a man after 4 games.
Of course they can. Do you think they? I know we don't know, but do you think they will, or do you think he gets more time? Unfortunately,
I think they'll give him more time.
I do. I'm expecting a left field name here, but don't feel the pressure if there's not one. Who are you going out to get, other than Chris Wilder? But who are you going out to get to replace him?
Sean Dyche, 100%. Respect from the minute he walks into the club, he gets from the players.
You're a sensible man, mate. I know you might scoff at that at times, but do you think that's a realistic option for us?
Depends how much money you throw at somebody, isn't it? Money talks. He's out of work. I mean, Clark has just put that in one of the chats. You know, he's not going to be short of money. He's not worried about where the next pound's coming from. But does he hang on for a bigger job? Does somebody like West Ham want him? Is he a West Ham type manager? He's definitely a Sheffield United type manager.
Yeah, he is. He is. I think he has aspirations of being a Premier League manager. Whether Premier League clubs have aspirations of him being their manager is a different situation, isn't it? So,
but when he did it the best, he did it with a team that he took up.
Yeah,
that he moulded.
And then we're underdogs fighting against the bigger clubs in that
Which
top
is
division.
Exactly what we're going to be, or will be. Would be
if we can get to that privileged position. So, mate,
and give ourselves a chance. We've got to do it soon, haven't we?
Absolutely right, we have. I think Millwall was the time, but we're here now. I agree with you, though. I think he gets Ipswich, and then if we get done spectacularly there, a lot of people are saying it's expected. So then, does it roll on to the next game? And it's
expected by us, but it is expected by the hierarchy of the club. We shouldn't be expecting to go anywhere and lose.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. And certainly, even Birmingham yesterday going to Leicester won't have expected to go there and lose because of the start they've had. They will have had confidence that they can go and get something. Why aren't we feeling like that? As Sheffield United, a second season parachute team, we should be going anywhere in this league and not fearing them. I'm not saying we go everywhere and beat them because we don't. Clearly we don't. But there should be half a chance that we could nick some at Ipswich, certainly a point. And there's no hope in the fan base of that happening. Or it'll be very dark corners that I can't find anywhere of people that we speak to. So it's a mess, mate, unfortunately, and it's just disappointing at the moment. And I think it won't be for long. I don't think. I think
just a massive shout out though to Tanganga, by the way.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
What a debut for a team that's getting steamrolled, through the middle of the pitch. And and Bindon wasn't great. Let's be fair. Tanganga, that could have been 3 or 4 without him today.
I agree. I like to try and defend Bindon where I can. I think he's got a good upside. I think hopefully we can see that in a Sheffield United shirt. But he's not getting any better. He's not sort of filling me with any confidence. You hope that once a more accomplished defender, and that might be Tanganga, comes next to him, that he'll start to improve a little bit because he was top class in League One. But Tanganga was the one today that stopped it going from 1 to 2 to 3. So I think
Bindon's another one of these young lads that had looked very good in a team that's dominating games.
Possibly.
But we're not dominating games, are we?
A bit like Anel was.
Correct.
So, mate, always great speaking to you. We'll catch up in the next few days. Obviously, you're going to be part of that team that is it's 2 from 5, but you're as you've suggested. Yeah,
as it is at the moment.
Right, buddy. Catch up with you soon.
All the best. Take care.
Cheers, mate. Thank you, Lee. Much appreciated. And again, I like to gauge these sort of calls that we do and speaking to people on how people normally are. And Lee's quite measured. He's quite, I think, quite sensible. I know we joked about him possibly not being, but I think he's quite a sensible bloke that doesn't jump to conclusions, and he's quite measured in how he thinks about the game. I rate his opinion highly, and he's saying needs to change tonight. Should have changed at Millwall. Lost patience because we can't see any change coming. It's very early. We all acknowledge that. But I can't see any changes coming. Are there any still that say us in? I know we're just about approaching 90 minutes, but I have to say we've had a patient caller on, and I'm hoping. I've unmuted you. You weren't muted by me before, but the man, the myth, the beard. Scott, can we hear you, pal?
Hello?
Yes, mate! Yes!
Oh, yes.
Yes, we're back. That is the biggest win of the day. How are you, mate? How are you feeling?
I'm absolutely fuming, mate. Absolutely fuming. I'm
bad,
absolutely fuming.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I'm Jack level cross at the minute.
Oh, are you?
I'm fuming, mate. Absolutely fuming. I've had to drive back from Scotland today, which took 5.5 hours as it is, and then I had to listen to 90 minutes of that on TalkSport on way home as well.
Oh, mate.
And Chrissy Willuma hates us, doesn't he? Jesus, I didn't think Don Goodman anybody could top him, but Christ, Chrissy Willuma, he doesn't like us, does he?
I don't often listen to TalkSport on for match coverage, but if it's anything like Andy Hinchcliffe or Don Goodman, then yeah, you'll have struggled. But mate, we were poor again today,
so bad.
Again, and I know you've been quite vocal in the chat as to how you feel about it. Let's be right, you think it's time, and you have done, haven't you? So.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have quite happily at Millwall said it's time, and that's not changed for me as well. And you nailed it on the head in your last couple of calls, where a few people have said not yet, not yet. But it's just like, well, if we can see it coming, then it's got to happen now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. I said it before. I feel like we're flogging a dead horse. We know it's coming. We know what's going to happen. So we've got to act. We should be acting now.
Yeah.
Like these owners, we know that they don't seem the most football savvy, but they are businessmen.
Yes.
And they like to try and make good business decisions.
Agreed.
This is not a good business decision. And if you make a bad business decision, you need to change that quite quickly into a good business decision. Now, these owners had big enough stones to get rid of a manager that got us 92 points. They should have stones big enough to sack a manager after 5 games after what we've witnessed.
Yeah.
I think I saw a stat. We've had 3 shots in 4 games. 3 shots in 4 games when we're playing attacking progressive football.
Vertical
I'd think what we'd do if we were playing defensive football.
That is an awful stat. Is that right? 3 shots in 4 games?
That's what I've seen. On target, that is. Shots on target.
It's abysmal, isn't it? Absolutely abysmal. Mate, I can't see a way it turns around, and that's like you said. It's the definition of madness, isn't it? It's doing the same thing time and time. We're expecting a defeat at Ipswich, not just because it's Ipswich, but because they're a tough place to go anyway. But because of the way we're playing, you know, we got turned over by Swansea, we got turned over by Millwall, we got turned over by Bristol City. How do we think a team worth 50 million more? How do we think we're going to do so much better against them?
Go on, sorry, mate.
No, I agree. We have been lucky, mate. Go on, it's your call.
Yeah, it's just we've been lucky to only lose those games 1-0. So, yeah, we've lost 3 games back-to-back, all 1-0 now. But we were very lucky to lose 1-0 today. Tanganga, I think Lee said it and a few of us, phenomenal. What a player he's going to be, by the way. Get Ben Mee next to him.
All good.
World of difference immediately. Swansea, they should have beaten us by more than 1. Millwall, we should have got something from it, but again, they had the opportunity to score more. It's just we're lucky that these games are not more than 1-0 because
it's a dominant midfielder we need, isn't it? And that's 100%. Where we're massively lacking. So, do you think, Scott? Do you think they make the change? Do you think they sack him?
I think they've got to. This for me is the perfect time. You're coming up to the international break. If they've been sounding people out and looking at conversations in the background already, which they may or may not have been doing, you'd like to think we might need to start doing this. You go out and you get one of these people in, and they've then got 2 weeks to have time with the team and actually just get them look like they're 11 players that have played football before. It's like there's not wholesale changes that is in this team that played together last season.
No, I agree.
Still a good foundation, but it's like they're 11 strangers out there. It's like they've never kicked a ball together before. And you just need somebody that will say, I know how to play you and I know where to play you. But we've got players just all over the place.
That's
I just haven't got a clue. I'm going
to be the high pressing interviewer that I am and say, do they do it though?
Yeah, yes, do it.
Yes, they do.
Do it. If you're listening, do it. Do it now.
It's not an instruction. It's not a whether you think they should. It's do you think they actually will? Do you think over this weekend we'll get breaking news that Sayers has left? Or do you think they give him long? You think they will?
I think they'll get rid of him. I don't think they'll give him any longer. What?
And with that in mind, who is your sensible, realistic option for Sheffield United?
I'm with Lee, and I've been quite vocal about this in the chat. I'm big Sean D, get him in. And again, I don't think
Sean
that's
D.
Shawnee D. I don't
Shawnee
think that's
D.
too out of our reach because, I mean, how long did he spend at Burnley? What was that, about 10 years?
Yeah.
He was there a long time. Yes, they were an established Premier League side, but like...
Due to him, though. Due to him.
Yeah, but they feel very kind of almost Sheffield United to be, you know, they're like a working class city, do you know what I mean? It fits. Yeah. I feel like it fits. And this is why I think that they will do it, because you've got 2 or 3 managers. Like, so let's say, Sean Dyche, Steve Cooper, Danny Roll, currently all out of work. They won't be out of work for that long. And as soon as other teams start to get to the point that we are of, right, people need to go, get them gone, they're going to start going elsewhere. And then if we sack Sayers after 10 games, well, Cooper, Dyche and Roll could all be in jobs elsewhere. And then it's just like, well, who do you get then? It's just like, we've got the opportunity while these managers are out of work now to say, right, we know Sean Dyche is out of work. Let's go and get him. Let's go and get him, because we should be able to. And I think Sean Dyche would look at us as an attractive club. Yes, he's made it clear that he wants to play, to manage in the Premier League. But in the last interview, he was talking about like his dream job is Man United. It's just like, well, yeah, if Man United get rid of Almiron, he's not going to get the Man United job. Let's be honest. And yes, West Ham could be appealing to him, but would he rather be in a promotion race or a relegation scrap?
Well, he might get a relegation scrap at United,
well,
to be fair.
But we've got the team. This is it. Get the right manager in. We've got that team is easily a top 6 team if you get the right manager in.
The only thing, mate, because I don't think Dyche is realistic, if I'm honest, but the only thing that gives me hope on that is that we have 100% pushed the boat out for Tanganga. We have said we need this to make us competitive in the league, so we're going to go out and get the best in class in the Championship, and that's exactly what we've done. We've plucked the best defender, it's certainly top 3, out of the Championship and put him in our side, and that was evident today. If you're willing to do that for a player, then there's a chance they're willing to do that for a best-in-class manager at this level. So, and Sean Dyche would be that man, but it's going to take a lot of money. I'm still not convinced that they do it, but yeah, we'll wait and see, pal. But thank you so much for coming on, mate. It's great to have you back on.
Yes, good to see you, mate. It's been a while. I shall hopefully make this more regular.
Nice one, mate. That'd be brilliant. That'd be really good. So great to see you, pal.
Yeah, you too, mate. Look after yourself. See you later, mate.
Ta-da. Nice one, Scott. Thank you, mate. Always good to speak to Scott as well. It has been too long. We are miles behind on comments. We're also in extra time now, so I'm going to apologise to everybody. What I want to say is thank you so much for Mr. V and Dave Morwood's super chats. Very much appreciated. I've got something on the live chat which is not coming up on here to say that Mr. V has gifted some more memberships as well. He's absolutely incredible, that man. So I don't know whether that's actually happened or not. It certainly came up on there. I'll try and pick out a few comments before we go. I'd just like to say that Tanganga definitely put on a display worthy of wearing that number 2. Says, oh, what a shout. Well done to him, man of the match performance. Number 2, for those that aren't Blades that are watching and may not be aware, he's the first player to wear number 2 since George Baldock's passing. And it hadn't even resonated with me, Jack, that is what had happened. So absolutely right, well said, and yeah, what a lovely way to put it. James says Gary O'Neill would be an unbelievable manager for us. I think he's the type of manager we might go for, because he's a bit of a hybrid between the new way, working under technical directors and sort of being a head coach, if you like, and also being hands-on on the field, but also involved in other things as well. I think he's a bit of a hybrid between that old school manager and new school manager, if you like, whereas Sayers is very much the new way of thinking. I think Sean Dyche is very much the old way of thinking, and I'm not saying neither of them could come close to the middle. I'm sure they could and work under those circumstances, but I think Gary O'Neill is an in-between option of those. Apologies, I'm just going to have to randomly pick out chats without reading them. The thing that staggers me the most is that we have 5 in attack, leaving a one-man midfield, and we haven't scored since halfway line goal 3 games ago. It's been 98 days since we last led in a game. 98 days. Obviously, there's the closed season there, but we haven't led in a game all season. Great call in from this lad. Don't know who that was, JT, but yeah, thank you to all the callers that have joined me tonight. Let's have a look. Kelly says, Jimmy, let's get this channel to 10k subs. Up the blades, up the ramble, up behind the ramble. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate it. Paul says, I'm going to put my head in the firing line. I think he'll get more games as the players were rallying around him at the end when he didn't hide and went over to the fans. He didn't run down the tunnel. Also, we'll be a better team if we sell Hamer. It would stop us relying on Hamer to make things. It would stop us trying to fit O'Hare and Hamer in the same squad, and we could reinvest the cash. I think there's an argument to be made for that, Paul. Absolutely, but it's it'll sting, won't it? It's never a good thing to lose your best player, but I think there is an argument to say the team can be greater than the sum of its parts, if that's the right way of putting it. Joe says they have to make a decision by the international break. Do it soon, and playoffs still are an option. Maury says Des Buckingham. I think he's managing abroad somewhere. I might be wrong. Paul from PNUK says another tough watch. Boro top, and they weren't that good. No, they weren't. That's the problem. They weren't that good. Lee says would love Liam Rosenior, just couldn't see him dropping to us. So for me, it's either Wilder or Roll. Chris says what I hate most this year is no team looks good, and we have messed up big time. We should have pressed on and already be up there. I agree. Liam Rosenior's waiting for the Leeds job, says Tim. Oh, I'm sure he's a Leeds fan. Hursty says a few lads near me left on the 60th minute against Millwall. Bindon isn't the answer as a centre-back either. The players won't respect someone who they know is tactically inept. Yeah, fair. Bryce says next home game could be very toxic. Who's the next home game? Is it Charlton? So we know that we go to Ipswich next. I want to say thank you to Alex as well, who's become a Platinum Rambler as we've been on the air. Appreciate it, pal. Thank you for the support. Next home game is Charlton on the 20th. Oh, wow. Wow. Viral Vibe says he needs to go. Phil says, who's sanctioning these transfers? Would you sack a manager with all these players coming in? It took 82 minutes for a 33-year-old to have a shot. Hamer needs to go. He's no good to us in this league. Well, the manager says he's got the final say on the signings, but they're brought to him collectively as an option. Let's have a look who else. I'm going to sneeze again. I can feel it coming. Oh, excuse me. We'll wrap up now, but Anthony says Betis and the Glazer brothers Mark II best get their act together and soon get the Spanish waiter out and get someone in who has got a clue. Steve Cooper. Otherwise, we're going down. I am convinced it won't get to that. That's obviously just an opinion, but we will make changes, whether that's manager or on the field, way before we get in any sort of trouble like that. The players are too good, and I know there's no such thing as players being too good to go down. The West Ham side, the Newcastle side, all that sort of thing. It's just, I think we'll make big changes before that gets anywhere near close. Neil says, Jimmy, the only good thing from today is Tanganga, and we get 2 weeks without losing. Jason says, Jimmy, if you have bought these players in because it's a setup for the manager, and say it's a better squad than last season, then get rid of the manager, and the one after that can get the most out of your team. Let's have a look. Rest in peace, George. Says Sarah, absolutely rest in peace, George. What a player, what a man. Thank you, Jimmy. Up the blades, up the ramble. Big love out to that. Absolutely. Rest in peace, George. Jaff will look after your shirt admirably, I'm sure. I don't think there's a much better way to end it than that, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, we're going to call it there. Apologies that I couldn't get to everybody's comments, but obviously we've had callers come on and take up the time, which is predominantly what this is for. So thank you to everybody that's joined us both for the watch along and for 90 After 90. I am back now off holiday, a little bit bruised after taking some unnecessary stick online, in my opinion, but that's by the by. Thank you to everybody for your kind comments and joining us as always. Thank you to all the new subs that have joined us. You're all very welcome. It's absolutely free to subscribe. And if you did like the video, then press the thumbs up button. That gets it seen further and further and stuff like that. So thank you to everybody for joining us. We're in a mess. We're in an absolute mess. And if it's up to me, I think a change is needed. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they will. We'll be back tomorrow on the Ramble with 3 Mardy Blades. Myself, the Man Mountain, and Dave the Nose will be talking about everything that's going on at the club. And then on Monday, we'll be doing a live stream of Deadline Day. So that's the next time you'll see us on the channel. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blades.